Good morning guys, it's Sophie. I'm going to do a quick little video today just showing you some of the books I've hauled recently. Just before I get started, our wedding is now 4 weeks today, so we're kind of getting to that like crunch point with prep stuff, and that means my videos are probably just going to be a little bit hazy for the next 4 weeks, and then we're on honeymoon afterwards. It's probably going to be around 5 weeks of more sporadic content. I think I'd underestimated how much stuff there is to do like at the end. I kind of felt like we'd done a lot of stuff way away, like booking everything, and hadn't realised how much you actually have to do when you get closer. So that's the kind of a little apology out the way. I am actually filming a vlog at the minute, because it's a longer term one. I haven't been able to upload anything, so I am still filming regularly for you guys. I just can't like finish it off, and I don't have a lot of time for this. In fact, I have half an hour until I need to leave the house to go for a wedding dress fitting, my final fitting. But I thought I'd just quickly show you some books before I go, and then hopefully I'll be able to edit on Sunday afternoon after I've had makeup and hair trials. So the first one I have is The Vaccine Race by Meredith Wadman. I don't think I'd showed you this one, but if I had, apologies. This looks at, I think it's rubella, or is it measles? Measles. So this looks at the development of vaccines for measles, and then sort of goes into how vaccines have affected public health so far. I don't know whether this is a new book sort of in light of COVID, or whether this is one, no, it's an older book, it's a 2017 book, probably on shelf because of COVID, but I've been reading a lot of science, and actually there's quite a lot in here that's still sciencey, and I'm really enjoying it, and I thought this one would be good fun. I know like a little bit about vaccines, and I listened to This Podcast Will Kill You, and they did some really good episodes on vaccines, but I'm still interested in the history. So that one is The Vaccine Race, and that's by Meredith Wadman. Then the next one was a recommendation when I did my medical non-fiction books. This is We Are Our Brains, From the Womb to Alzheimer's by Dick Swab. I was also recommended this one when I asked for some recommendations for your favourite like long non-fiction, which is what I'm going to be doing my little vlog on. But this is an exploration of everything that happens in our brains, how we are our brains and relate to our brains. I don't know kind of the full content of what's in here, but looking at the contents page, it covers development, birth, parental care, fetal brain and safety in the womb, sexual difference in the brain, puberty, love and sex behaviour, hypothalamus, addictive substances, the brain and consciousness, aggression, autism, schizophrenia, repair and electric stimulation, sports, moral behaviour, memory, loads, the brain and religion, free will, Alzheimer's, death, evolution. So hopefully this is going to be really good fun. I like the fact it has lots of different areas in it. I think when it's a slightly bigger book and it's non-fiction, it's nice to have little subtopics to work your way through. The next one is the book I'm reading for my last big non-fiction, so that was 500 pages or more. This is Empire of Pain by Patrick Weedon Keefe, and this looks at the legacy of the Sackler family, who were a wealthy family who began sort of working within like medicine. I think they designed like a patent for Valium, and later became involved in OxyContin and the marketing of OxyContin as well. So this looks at the impact of what they have produced and kind of the legacy of addiction that's come from that, whilst the family is so wealthy and highly celebrated. This was another recommendation from you guys, so thank you so much. I have another pandemic book, Spike, The Virus versus the People, The Inside Story, written by Jeremy Harrer and Jana Ajia, I think. This one was kind of a bit of a like, hey, I went, had to go to a doctor's appointment, and after I grabbed some books, but this one actually sounds way more interesting than just I thought it was when I picked it up. So it's the man who's written it is one of the UK's leading scientists, and he also joined SAGE and advised the UK government throughout the pandemic. It has interviews with pandemic modellers and also Dominic Cummings, so this is like UK specific, what happened, what went wrong, which I'm here for. I want to read about that. I definitely think I'm not like, I don't want to read fiction about the pandemic at the minute, though I know some stuff started. I do want to read non-fiction. This was my coping mechanism the whole way through COVID, was like, can I read about it? How can I read about it? How can I understand it? And there wasn't anything, so this is kind of rather than scaring me, this feels quite like a balmy thing. It's kind of what my brain was looking for through that period where I was really anxious, and I'm glad to have a few options in my box. I'll let you know what I think of this one because I haven't actually heard anything about it. It was a literal like Waterstones random pick off the shelves. And then the last two are fiction because I really haven't read any fiction recently and I thought it might be nice to have a couple on my pile. The first one is Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead. I've just seen this one everywhere, really buzzy, by Emily Austen. And it's about a woman who is like very anxious about the concept of death, and she eventually gets a job, I think it's a church receptionist, but she's not straight and doesn't want to talk about, like, expose the fact that she's obsessed with death. Yeah, and she's also an atheist, so I think it's quite funny what I've kind of heard, but I think like it's marketed a bit like Sally Rooney-esque, so I wonder whether it might be a little bit Sally Rooney-esque. But I just thought a nice little fiction one that's really buzzy sounded nice, like mixed into some of the kind of heavier stuff I'm reading at the minute. And then the last one I have for today is Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. I think I heard about this one on What Page Are You On? Which is a podcast that's really good if you don't listen to it. And it's about a woman who slowly begins to turn into an animal. And I'm pretty sure it was there because I'm pretty sure I heard it like hyped up quite a lot, and I literally just bought it. It was another one of those like, oh, got books. So I've got two fiction, one I think probably slightly darker than this one. I think this one, despite the subject matter, might be a bit lighter in tone. But yeah, that's all the books I have on my TBR at the minute. I am currently reading the second of my three big non-fiction books, and because they take a lot longer I just don't need as many books this month, which is quite nice for a change. So I'll see you guys when I see you. I will probably upload some stuff in the next 4 weeks. I just can't promise how much. It might be a case of like there's maybe another video between now and the wedding, or there might be another two, but it's probably not going to be one a week. But I hope you guys are having a nice August, and I will see you again when I see you. Look after yourselves until then. Bye!